Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today is gonna be a little bit of a different video. I'm just gonna sit down and kind of talk to you guys. I'm gonna make it quick because I have to go to class. Video is also gonna be a little bit sad and I most likely will probably start crying. So today is June 5th, 2018, and 7 years ago today my dad passed away from leukemia. I was 11 years old when he passed and I was in 6th grade. So I kind of just wanted to talk about the background of the story, some advice that I have. When I was in 6th grade at the beginning of May, I came home from school and my dad sat me down and we had family friends over, and he told me that he was really sick and that he was going into the hospital the next morning. And I was really young and I didn't really understand, like I knew what cancer was, but I didn't really understand how bad it was. I just thought he was sick, and he made it sound like the doctors, sorry, the hiccups, the doctors told him that he was only gonna be there for a month and that he would come back home after a month, and that's all it was. But I remember very vividly this whole experience, and I'll always remember it. But that night I remember waking up and getting him and making him come and sleep with me in my bed, because when I had bad dreams I did that. I'm so glad I did, because that was the last night he ever slept in our house, and he slept with me. See, I told you I'd start crying. So the next morning I woke up and I went to school, and then I saw, and I got on the bus and then he waved goodbye. Sorry, okay, I'm a mess. The next month was, like, if you've ever had a family member that was, or a friend or someone that you knew that went through cancer, they are in the hospital, they go through either chemo or radiation. My dad went through chemo, which means it killed all his white blood cells, which got him very, very sick, and he got infections in his stomach and his mouth. And towards the end, he just got progressively worse. He was unable to speak at all or eat or anything, and it was so hard to see him like that. And I remember recording my dance competitions and bringing it and showing him, and I remember studying for a spelling bee and just trying to like make him happy while he was in the hospital. And so, long story short, the month passed. It was pretty much the same thing every day. We pretty much lived at the hospital. And then on June 4th, the doctors took us into a room and told him that he wasn't gonna make it, and that we were probably had like a week left with him, but there is still a chance he might pull through. And I was still so young and I just didn't really know what was happening. I just didn't believe it, and I was just thinking about all the possibilities of like what was gonna happen, because my mom just retired the year before, so that because my dad was doing well, and so she didn't even have a job, and were we gonna have to move and downsize? Like, it was just weird. And then it was not a week at all, because the next day we woke up and my mom got a call that my dad stopped breathing and that he kept on calling for our names. And so I remember my mom told me to go get her friend, which is our neighbor across the street, and so that she could drive us so that we could go down there and be with him during his last moments. But when I got back, my mom opened the door and she just broke down and said that he was gone. Like, it was just slow motion, and I was just like, didn't want to believe it until we got to the hospital and I saw my dad there, and I just broke down. So I went to school the next day, and that was the first time I really cried about it, besides for in the hospital, because I heard my teacher say it and it kind of hit me like it was real. That's pretty much the whole story. And so, like, me and my dad were best friends. We were inseparable. We did everything together. We had like kind of a weird relationship. He was so strict but at the same time, we were just best friends. We did everything together. He's the one that got me into music, to play piano, to play violin. Last year, because he didn't even get to see me do dance team. He never got to see me graduate or do college. And it sucks because I'm not really religious, so I don't like the whole he's still watching over you thing. Just, it doesn't connect with me. But everyone dies sooner or later, and people go through deaths a lot. I just happened to go through a death of my dad just way too soon and really, really young. But everyone goes through it sooner or later, and I just want you to know that you're not alone, and just don't keep it inside of you, because that's what I've done for the past 7 years. Because I've had tons of people I can talk to. I just never did, because I always just thought it might, like, well, one, because nothing they really said could help, but what helped the most is when people just listen and let me cry and like I'm there for them. But I just never did that because I didn't want to be the nuisance. But again, that's just my anxiety. So, but if you are going through anything like this, or it's an anniversary of anything and you're feeling sad or down, don't keep it inside of you, please. That doesn't mean you have to talk to someone, like a person. You could either like write it down, do another coping mechanism, even make videos like what I'm doing right now. It's hard, but you're not alone. And I know that sounds so like cliche and cheesy, but you're not alone, and there's always people there to talk to you, even though you feel so alone. I've had so many people I could talk to, but I've just chosen not to because I just didn't feel comfortable. But it's taken a toll on me for the past 7 years, which is why I'm kind of making this video to really talk about it, because I've just never really I just kind of like kept it inside. But this was my experience, and my advice is just don't keep anything inside, and you're not alone. And today is gonna be rough, but I can get through it because I know I'm strong and you are strong too. So thank you for watching this video. I'm sorry I cried, and I'm sorry that this was kind of sad, but that's what some videos are going to be on my channel, because that's part of life. Life is a roller coaster. There's not always good moments. So hit that like button if you enjoyed me cry. Please hit that like button, but subscribe if you want to join me on this adventure, because it's gonna be crazy, and your support means the whole world to me. So thank you so much for those who have already subscribed, and those who are watching, just thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.